I made several tweets about localizers while I was on vacation from streaming, and the amount of people who just do not understand that localizers are unironically bad at this point in time are crazy to me. The, like, #1 response to me saying localizer's bad are people being like,
well, sometimes you can't translate things one for one from one language to another, so you need the localizers in order to make it make sense in the other language.
and it's like, no, I understand there are things that aren't gonna come across as a one-to-one translation from other language, but translators can still make that call. If you're a translator and you're fluent in 2 languages and you're like, oh, this proverb wouldn't translate correctly one-to-one into English, so I need to finagle it into a way for it to make sense while holding true to the spirit of what the original sentence was. That is what translators do. Localizers don't do that. Localizers will it. Localizers will completely mistranslate it and inject their own personal weird way of speaking or inject their ideology into what a character is saying. Localizers hate. And it's like having grown up watching nothing but fan subs, every single person who did subtitles as a passion project did so much better than all of these officially hired hacks who completely f***ed everything. That's why you quit paying Crunchyroll years ago. They were using your anime money to make progressive leftist cartoons. I'm glad I never gave a single cent to Crunchyroll. They don't deserve it, dude. You were a subscriber to Crunchyroll years ago. You stopped after they removed some show you wanted to watch. Their player was buggy and the censorship. I almost exclusively watched fan subs. Only fan subs. It's just like, I saw zero reason to use, like, official translations. As a professional European translator of nearly 8 years, albeit your focus is legal and technical, you've done quite a few less than formal pieces. It seems bizarre to you that localizers seem to somehow be different from just translators. When you were trained, it was used interchangeably. Translating things to make sense isn't that hard, even if the languages are significantly different. Yes, and that is what a lot of people try arguing. A lot of people will try to argue in bad faith nowadays, where they say that, like, localizers are necessary and get unnecessary hate. Because they're just doing something that is needed in order to make certain things understandable for a different audience that doesn't speak the native language. And it's like, that is not what localizers are anymore. That is not what localizers have been for years. There's a reason people say localizers hate, translators love. And it's not because we don't understand that some things can't be translated one-to-one exactly. And we're not saying everything needs to be translated one-to-one exactly, because we understand that some things can't be. But you need to keep it as faithful to the original text as possible. You can't have original text being like, that was very disappointing, and then have a localizer translate it to,
That was Dan's game, for real, no cap, not bussin'.
Because I was like, what the f*** are you doing at that point, you know? Like, them inserting in the moment memes or slang or things that people aren't going to understand like 10 years from now, and it's going to seem really f***ing out of place. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? And like, even a step further, when you insert like jokes about Trump, or when you try to insert like Western politics into a Japanese anime scenario, it comes off as, what the f*** are you talking about? I was like, and then you have like, well, sometimes they have to change a reference to a politician because, like, people aren't gonna know who Shinzo Abe is. They're not gonna know the Prime Minister of Japan. It's like, who the f*** cares? Why would you change it to an American politician so they understand that it's being talked about a politician? Wouldn't you want the people consuming the media to know more about where the media comes from? Wouldn't you want them to learn more about the culture instead of forcing them back into a bubble without learning anything? That's sus though, Takashi. For real, you're being sussy baka, dog.